Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of really interesting bodybuilding topics to go over. This is the last photo I'm gonna be posting here from my travel in Spain. Just wanted to let you know that my off season is going pretty well, and if you need coaching, just DM me on Instagram. European Championships is over, and get ready for the daily videos, guys. I'm back home, let's go. The first thing we got for today is, let's say, I told you so situation. It seems like Regan Grimes is out of the New York Pro. And if you guys watch my channel, you probably saw a bunch of videos where I was checking out Regan's conditioning as he was getting ready for the New York. And, to me, it seemed like he was very much behind the schedule. Like, his conditioning didn't look anything close to being stage ready. At best, based on his last physique update, it seems like he would be probably at like maybe 90% of what he brought last time he competed at Spain and Italy, which was not his best condition. And then also, like, size-wise, he didn't seem improved at all. So we got this YouTube video from him where he talks about, the reasons why he might be out of the New York Pro, and in my opinion, he will be out of the New York Pro. Let me play this short version of what he said.
I know the certain look that I want to have and be a certain way, so we're not going to go up there until I'm on 100%. I had said, we've got our eyes set on Pittsburgh, we got our eyes set on, New York timeline. Pittsburgh is definitely a no. We're not going to be doing Pittsburgh, and I'm working with a new coach, Stefan Bossavetla, amazing coach, but he's learning my body, and I think we waited just a little bit too long to kind of like pull the carbs down, add the cardio. I'm used to starting prep 16 weeks out and usually starting cardio right away, so it's a big difference. No cardio was added till about 5 weeks out, so we'll see. We're, like I said, going week to week for the upcoming show and see what happens. But, New York would be great. But like I said, if we're not 100%, we're not going to go. Like, the next one would be California.
All right. I think we got a pretty good idea of what happened here. And I was kind of harsh towards Regan during my assessments of his physique. And I thought it was his fault. I thought he was just not willing to do the work, that he got lazy or something like that. But apparently, based on what he says, it's his coach's fault. It's Stefan Kinsel's fault. It's actually just Stefan Kinsel not realizing that Regan is behind. He didn't give him any cardio until 5 weeks out. I mean, what is up with that? I guess he made a mistake. He thought his body would respond to lower carbs and more cardio faster than it did. But I mean, yeah, it's their first time, their first prep, but didn't Stefan ask Regan how he was doing things before? How easy was it for him to get in condition? Would 5 weeks of dieting be enough to get in contest shape from his off-season shape? I don't know, man. Like, that's pretty weird to me. And also, if he wasn't sure, why wouldn't he just get him ready a little bit earlier and then kind of cruise into the show? I think that would make more sense. Regan also said, I didn't play it, you can watch the whole video if you want, but basically he says that the off-season went pretty well, that Regan ate a lot of food and made a lot of progress, I guess. And I'm guessing Stefan just wanted Regan to have a longer off-season because he wasn't really that serious that 1 year he took off. I mean, it's going to be like more than a year that he was off the stage. So I guess he wanted to push him growth-wise as far as possible and then diet down at the last moment. Do I like the decision? No. But then again, Stefan has like, 500 clients and like 200 of them are IFBB pros. So how much attention can he really devote to every single person? I mean, Regan is a high-profile bodybuilder. So if he fails with him or he does well with him, people are gonna know. So I'm guessing he did devote himself to Regan as much as he could, considering that he has a whole bunch of other top-level clients. So I'm guessing it was just simply a calculation mistake, or, Stefan expecting that Regan's body is gonna respond faster than it did. But it didn't. So Regan is most likely out of the New York. He was considering Pittsburgh as well, but that's definitely out of the question. So he'll probably do California after New York, but maybe not even that. Maybe some other show a little bit later, because I don't know if that's enough time. I mean, right now he's 3 weeks out of California, or 4, I think 3 weeks out, and I think Krejci is doing that show as well. If Regan did end up doing New York, and even if he was really in shape, conditioned enough, would he still be able to win that show? Considering that Krejci is doing it, William Bonac as well, maybe Nick Walker, also Colossus Ken. New York is stacked, man. It's definitely not an easy win for Regan. And California, I know Krejci is doing it, so we'll see what's going to happen. Will Regan be able to even win a pro show this year? But as far as the New York pro, yep, I guess I was right. He's out of the New York. You guys tell me what you think down below. Alright, the next thing we got is about Ramon Dino. And you guys might remember these photos from a couple of days ago in which he looked pretty freaking big, like pretty blasting full. And we talked about whether he can still win the Mr. Olympia, whether he's going to be able to, match guys like Mike Sommerfeld or the others. A couple of years ago, he was battling it against C-Bum, and he was spoken about as the next in line after C-Bum retires, that Ramon is going to be the next Mr. Olympia. It kind of didn't really go as we thought, because last year he barely even got that fourth. He was spilling all over the stage, like he was sweating profusely. It was not looking professional. His posing didn't improve enough, and like as far as the size, there is no more room to make improvements. But if he nailed the conditioning, if he added some more details, if he stopped sweating on the stage, maybe he could go against the very best, against Mike, against Ruff Diesel and some others, but we don't know that. And even a couple of years ago, when we talked who from Classic could switch to the Open and do well, Ramon was definitely the guy. Like, they talked about him as a potential good Open pro, more so than about Chris Bumstead, for example. And now we got some pretty exciting news. Ramon Dino is actually planning on doing the Open at some point. Not this year, probably not, but as he says, once he feels ready, he's gonna do the Open one day. That's the plan, apparently. Because, yeah, like you can see it in his physique, he could get that big, like he has dominant limbs, like his arms are very big, especially the forearms. Like as far as the chest, the back, the legs, the structure is there. He could potentially get super massive and actually do well in the Open. I think he's definitely more suited for the Open than, for example, Urs Kalecinski, who is also talked about as a potential Open pro, because he gets really big, really easy, especially in the off-season. But with Urs's structure, with his arms and everything, and the back as well, I don't know if he could be a great Open bodybuilder, but Ramon? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. With this physique like this, I mean, with the freaking huge arms and like everything being complete, like he is not lacking anything. Back is there, legs are there, arms, shoulders, chest, everything is there. He just needs more size, and he was kind of fighting a battle, making the weight for classic physique for the past, couple of years. He was barely even squeezing into the category, and it worked well up until one point, but then it started just, becoming a trouble, and when he would actually make the weight, he wouldn't look very good on stage because he would lose all the fullness, all the pop. And we saw that at the Arnold Classic, we saw that later in the Mr. Olympia as well. So Ramon Dino is no longer the 100% Ramon Dino we once knew. There are other Brazilian bodybuilders, classic physique bodybuilders, who are more popular than Ramon right now. So maybe his classic days are in the past. He doesn't plan on doing the Open this year, so we'll probably see him in the Open Olympia. He's qualified for it, and we'll see how well will he do. But if he doesn't do that well, if he doesn't look crazy, he might decide to just start prepping for the Open for the next year and like put on size, You guys saw what Stefan Matala, for example, did in 1 year. He's also the guy that was battling to make the weight, just like Ramon, and they kind of have similar structure. We'll see how Stefan will do, actually, once he competes at France Pro, but, Ramon kind of reminds me of him, very similar physiques, and I can definitely see Ramon putting on enough size, and like with his structure, he could do pretty well in the open, and I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Is that the right decision? We'll see. Like, can he still win the Mr. Olympia in Classic? I don't know, maybe. Like, at that one point, he was second twice, so maybe he can. But I don't know, guys, because let's take a look at Mike Sommerfeld right now. Alright, here we got a physique update by Mike Sommerfeld, and I'm pretty sure that at this point he's completely off of everything still. Because he definitely looks significantly softer and like flatter, but then the size is there, and can Ramon really have this much of this wow factor? I don't want to say the freak factor because that's kind of used more to describe open bodybuilders, so he does have this freak factor when we talk about the size, actually. Like, everything is popping out, everything is massive, proportions are crazy, and he still has basically almost no trouble making the weight in Classic. And look at the size of this guy. Look at the freaking size. Like, I don't think he's much smaller than, for example, Regan Grimes right now. I mean, he's probably smaller, lighter, but still, he looks freaking huge. Can Ramon Dino be this big? That's the question. Can any other Classic physique competitor be this big and still make the weight? I don't think so. I don't know if there is an example of a guy like that. Are there guys who are maybe more classic, blessed with better shape genetically? Sure, they are, but classic physique is not much about that. That's one of the factors, but it's mainly about being as big as possible, as much as your weight cap allows, and, being as shredded as possible at the same time. And Mike is kind of achieving a pinnacle of that currently, and if you consider that, if that is truly the standard, then even if Chris actually stayed, maybe Mike would beat him this year. Because Chris, yeah, he has a legacy, he's one of probably the most popular bodybuilder of all time, but now that basically the IFBB kind of made it clear that the Classic physique is about the size and conditioning, and shape is just one of the factors, then I don't know if Chris would actually be able to beat Mike if he didn't have the name. So what Mike has right now is just absolutely out of this world, considering that he is a Classic physique competitor. So for as long as Mike is active and competing and healthy and all that, I don't know, guys, I feel like nobody else stands a chance, most likely. Unless he misses a peak or something like that, but right now he is definitely the heavy favorite to win the title. Can Ramon play second if he's 100%? Probably, but is that what he wants, to be second or third or fourth his whole career? Or does he want to try himself out and see his full potential in the open? Well, you just heard the answer. He wants to go to the open. And as far as Mike, he could also do really well in open or 212, but he can also just dominate Classic probably for many years. That's the way I see it, guys. Look at it just once again. Crazy massive for a Classic physique competitor. Crazy, insane. But if there is anybody that can stop him at this year's Mr. Olympia, then that's probably this guy right here, Ruff Diesel, if anybody. Again, maybe also Ramon. I don't know about Logan Franklin. He did look amazing in the Arnold Classic, but he just didn't have the size that Mike has. And is Ruff Diesel at a similar level of size, just like Mike Sommerfeld? Well, if you compare this physique update of Ruff Diesel to what Mike looks right now in the off-season, you would say no. You would say no because, of course, Mike is much bigger, quite a bit bigger, but, Mike also gets smaller once he gets in shape. I mean, how much smaller? I don't know, but definitely smaller than what we just saw. And as far as Terence, he also got quite a bit smaller during his prep. At one point also, I kind of thought he lost a lot of size because he looked really big in the off-season, and then at like 3 or 4 weeks out, he kind of looked like he lost some size. But we got these new photos, this video actually, in which he looks absolutely peeled, man. Absolutely peeled. This could be even better conditioning than what Logan Franklin brought to the stage. I don't know if it's gonna be. What Logan brought to the Arnold Classic stage as far as conditioning is probably the craziest conditioning I ever saw on a top classic physique guy, considering Chris Bumstead as well. But as far as Terence, this is definitely the closest thing I ever saw at 1 week out. So he has another week to maybe dehydrate a little to get even crispier. But does he really need to do that to win Pittsburgh? I would say no. You know, his size and his structure and this conditioning he has right now is most likely going to be enough for him to win the Pittsburgh. But let's check out the video. Let's see if he actually lost the size or not. Well, based on this video, it kind of seems like being that small was simply just part of the process. They pushed the conditioning for a moment there and he got flat and small for a moment, but now it seems like his foot is definitely back up. Conditioning is holding on pretty well, but he does look a lot bigger and fuller. You know, and he is peeled. At this point, he is not losing any size. I don't see that. And as far as condition, it's absolutely crazy, man. I mean, as far as winning the Pittsburgh, yeah, he's winning Pittsburgh, come on. I don't see Jose Manuel beating Terence, or anybody else for that matter. But as far as the Mr. Olympia, can he go against Mike Sommerfeld? I mean, we'll see how Terence looks on stage first with this newly added size. But yeah, this looks promising. It's very classic, it's very shapely. Size-wise, he's bigger, he's improved. But again, is he really at the level of size of Mike Sommerfeld? I would just say no, but I won't know that until actually I see these guys on stage. But I'm pretty sure that Mike is still bigger. Terence doesn't look that massive, but I gotta say his body came back alive. Now it looks definitely a lot fuller and bigger than it did at like that 3 weeks out point, because I'm guessing they really pushed, they dug deep for that conditioning. But we'll find out soon enough how good he actually is once he actually steps on that Pittsburgh Pro stage, once we see him under those stage lights and everything. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see him compared to the very best in the world, like Mike Sommerfeld. We're going to have to wait for the Mr. Olympia for that, but I think we're going to get a pretty good idea based on his Pittsburgh look. So whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon, all the best, and bye bye.